Hey everyone, welcome to Miss Kaliba's virtual art class. I hope you guys had a wonderful spring break and you guys are ready to come back and do some art. So today we're going to be learning about an artist named Laurel Burch. She was a female American artist from the United States. She was born in California in the 1940s and she died in California in 2007 at only the age of 61. Throughout her life, she had a really major bone disease that caused her a lot of pain, where her bones would break really easy. So that kind of kept her from doing a lot. Throughout a lot of her life, and especially when she was a kid, she would always like to enjoy watching the other kids play. But instead of her playing, since she wasn't able to, she would spend a lot of her time cuddling up with her cats, petting them, and playing around with them. And that's where she got her idea to paint cats as she got older. Alright, so she was one of the artists who really likes persevere. So, and persevere means that she continues working despite difficulty. So even when she was hurting and in pain or sick in bed, she would still try to paint, even if she would have to paint with her feet. She would do the best that she could. So that shows you that no matter what your difficulties, whatever your emotions are, if you don't feel like doing art, if you just try, you could do something with it. So today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be making some cats that look very similar to Laurel Burch's cats. This is an example that I created. And you kind of see it's very colorful, very abstract. There's a lot of patterns. You kind of see my spirals and my design in here. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. We're going to go through first step by step. I'm going to kind of talk you through it, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. So the first thing that we're going to end up doing is we're going to draw the cat face, the big C backwards, and it's going to end up turning upside down. So you're going to take your paper, make sure it's nice straight up and down. I'm going to use a pen. You should be using a pencil, so just in case you mess up, you can erase it. So the first thing, like I mentioned, you're going to draw a nice big C. So you're going to go about 2 inches down from the top of the paper, so kind of bring it down, and we'll go close to the bottom as well. So a nice big C, just like that. Alright, so you have your big C, and then you want to do the opposite on the other side, and it's going to connect. So you're going to do another C on the other side. It's a backward C, just like that. So that's where you have the face of your cat. Alright, from there, we are going to go in. It says you're going to add 2 ears. So ears typically are triangles on top of the head. And you're going to do 2 small triangles on the inside. So I'm going to go in. On the left side, draw a triangle. On the right side, draw a big triangle. And then for the inner ear, 2 small triangles. So now we have our head and our ears. The third thing that you want to do is we're going to draw our eyes. So the eyes are typically football shapes, and you're going to do that underneath each ear. So I'm going to draw a nice big football shape here, and a nice big football shape here. Just like that. And then of course your cat needs a C, so you need to draw the pupils. So the iris and the pupils. So you're going to start out by taking a curvy line on the left side, a curvy line on the right side, and do the same thing on the other. And for the iris itself, or the pupils itself, you're going to draw 2 little circles right in the middle so you can see. So now we have our eyes. If you want to, you're welcome to draw some eyelashes too if you like. You don't have to. Alright, from there, we need to draw our eyebrows and our nose. So, for our eyebrows, we're going to start right above the eye here. You're going to take a nice curvy line, and we're going to go wrap it around underneath the eye. Go down the middle, make a nice little curve. Bring it up and around, and curve it right back over the other eye. You're going to notice that it starts on one edge and goes all the way around. We just do one long line, nice big line of the nose over there. So that's your 2 eyebrows. Alright, so from there we want to add a tongue. So the tongue is going to be like a little U, or a semicircle. So you're going to go down to the bottom of the face and do a U. And of course your whiskers, you can do straight lines, or you could do kind of wavy lines. So I'm going to go in and draw, you could do 3 or 4, up to you how many you want to do. So now we have our whiskers. And then last thing for the face, you want to go in and draw 2 little circles for the nose. Alright, so we have the overall design of our face now. So now we want to start adding some patterns. So remember, when you draw your patterns, whatever you want to do, you want it to be symmetrical. That means, if I were to fold this down the middle, so I'm going to go like this. I have it down the middle. Whatever I draw on the left side, I also draw on the right side. So if I want to go in here and draw a more emphasized eyebrow there, I'm going to also draw it on the right side. If I want to go in here and draw 5 little circles as a decoration, I'm going to also draw the 5 little circles over here on the decoration. So remember, your pattern is however you want to. You decorate it and you make it your own. Think about shapes, lines that you can use. You can even go in here. Maybe I'm going to go in and do some little zigzag. So I'm also going to do the same thing. Nice little reflection on the other side. Get it as close as you can. Alright, so we have our nice little design, and you kind of keep going and playing around with it. Alright, so once you have your pattern, I'm going to go in and add my body. So when I do my body, a lot of times what we think, well, we want to do a body here. But if you do your body here, it's going to be way too small. So you're going to have this really, really big head and a really small body. So you're going to go off to the side of your head. I'm going to do a nice curve line going downwards and do the same thing on the other side. Nice curve line going the opposite. If you want to, if you have room, you're welcome to go in and draw a tail. So that's going to be the next thing. So I'm going to go in. It's going to kind of go off the paper a little bit. I'm going to do some little wavy lines, and that's my tail going off. If you want it to come back over and kind of curve back around, you could do that as well. So kind of play around with your tail if you want to do it with your tail. Alright, so last thing before we start coloring is we want to start outlining. So when you outline, you want to grab like a black pen, a black marker, black Sharpie, whatever you have at home, and outline it. So I'm going to go in, take my black marker, take my time to draw right over the lines. You want to take your time because otherwise you may still have pencil lines showing, and you might have to go back in and erase too. So take a few minutes just to outline. And I'm going to do this a little quicker just so you can kind of see, but of course you want to take yourself some time. And it's okay if it's not perfect. You just want to kind of have fun with it. So I'm going to trace my designs, my patterns, the lines that repeat on each side, my whiskers, trace my eyes. Remember when you go and do your pupil, you can even go ahead and color in the pupil if you want to with the marker. Trace my ears. And the rest of my designs. So this probably takes a little bit longer just because you're kind of going in and you want to get everything nice and neat. And then once you're done doing it, I'm going to do my tail. And then we're ready to start adding some decoration to the body and then add some color. So remember how we did decoration on the top? Also think about how you want to do the decoration on here. So you can go in, maybe you want to do some shapes, maybe you want to do spirals. Like I have some different examples. Like here I did triangles. Maybe you like here I did some spirals. Maybe you want to do circles, polka dots, squares, rectangles. I'm going to do rectangles this time. And I'm going to do different sizes. And I'm just going to use my marker to do it. Maybe have them go up and down, vertical, left to right, different sizes. Some can even go off the paper like it's going around. If you want to continue that on the tail, you can. Otherwise, it's not necessary. But you're going to go in, and I did forget to get my little circles here. So you want to have a nice cool little pattern. And the very last thing is to color. So you're welcome to use crayons, color pencils, markers, gel pens, whatever you have. I have some crayons. I'm going to go in and color. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time just kind of playing around with it. So remember, Laurel Burch's cats are always really bright colors. So we're not going to use black or brown or gray or white. You're going to use some really bright colors. So I would use like yellows and oranges and reds and purples, blues, greens, whatever you guys think. So there is also a cool little thing what you could do when you're drawing if you were to take a couple different colors and you wanted to do a gradation. So what I like to do when I'm coloring, I'm going to start here with red, and I'm going to go from red to yellow. So it starts with red. I'm going back and forth, filling the whole thing in. Right, and then I'm going to kind of mix in where it looks like it's getting lighter. So red to orange. And then I'm going to do yellow at the top. Or you could do like a light orange. So you can kind of see how I kind of play around with it. But you can do that as well as you're coloring. But just keep coloring. You're going to color the entire thing, whatever colors you decide you want to. And then that way when you're done, your image will look something like this. If you have some time, maybe you want to come back to it a little later, or you just want to keep working, you're welcome to go in and do some little decorations in the background. Maybe you want to go in and just draw a bunch of shapes and color those in. Maybe you just want to color it a solid background. Feel free to play around with it as you guys are going, and just to do your creations. One other thing before you guys get started, I also wanted to give you a little heads up if you wanted to play around with the eyes. If you don't want both of the eyes open, you could do something like this. Let me grab my marker. So say we have our eyes here. So maybe you want one of the eyes to be a football, but maybe you want one of the eyes to be closed, like it looks like it's winking. So you would just do the top line of the football, maybe do some little lashes there, so now it looks like it's winking. So that's one way you could do your eyes. Another way you could do your nose, if you didn't want to do your eyebrows going around, you could even do a rectangle and a triangle underneath, and then go back in with a J and a backwards J, and that could be the bottom part of your mouth. So I could kind of, I'll bring this around so you can kind of see what I mean as you're doing your design. So that was another idea on doing your face, and I actually did an example over here that you can kind of see where I did the J of the mouth. But yeah, feel free to play around with it and have fun with it. If you guys feel free, if you really enjoyed having it, leave a comment, take a photo, send me a picture of the artwork, and so I can see what you guys did. You guys enjoy, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.